What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can catch bluefin tuna from your private boat. Alright, so check this out. Before we get into the video, I just got inside of my boat to film this video. And I noticed something strange. Take a look at this, okay? Alright, look. So I get in my boat, and I'm like, oh, I wonder this line's a little loose. I don't remember that. And then I go, and then I think, I know I tied on a longer leader than that. So then I'm like, where the heck is my jig? I don't remember breaking off. And I had a longer leader. So then I follow it down, and I find my jig hanging here, right? Well, I'm sure you guys recognize that. And then I said, okay, well, there's the rest of my leader. Now check this out. Why is it cut in the middle? Huh? Okay, there's one end right here. Okay, and here's the other end. Okay, why is it cut? Okay, did I anger my wife? One of my kids? What happened there? But that is just straight cut. So, anyways, just yeah, something I noticed. Strange. Okay, so I want to start off by saying fishing from a private boat is much different than fishing from the charter boats. Okay, charter boats have a lot more bait, a lot more gas, so they can burn the bait, they can burn the gas, chum the waters. You got plenty of live bait, and you know, to bring the fish to the boat, right? So let's talk about first when the bluefin tuna first showed up on the Southern California coast, and they first showed up in the San Diego waters. So when they first showed up in the San Diego waters, a lot of people were catching them on jigs. They just came up out of Mexico waters. They were in U.S. waters now. And yeah, people were catching them on jigs, especially the first couple days. There was a ton of boats out there. I saw videos from it. And so the fish were traveling north, up along the coast. They're pretty close. A lot of times they're only 1 to 3 miles out, 5 miles out, 10 miles out. They were everywhere. The 2021 bluefin season was absolutely epic for Southern California. Okay, so after the fish had a lot of pressure on them, they started getting boat shy, right? I kept seeing over and over and over again, post after post on Bloody Decks, post after post, comment after comment. You know, people saying, this is my 10th trip out, this is my 5th trip out, this is my 12th trip out, still skunked, casting out boils, seeing nothing. Seeing them everywhere, right? But they just sink out, sink out, sink out. Typical bluefin tuna fishing for Southern California. And also, my first few trips out, I was doing the same thing too, in my personal boat. I don't have a big ocean boat. I have a Tracker Pro Guide 175 combo. Okay, it's a almost 18-foot boat. It's like 17 foot, 9 inches. Deep V aluminum. You know, but it gets out there. It gets out there. Furthest we took it out was about 15 miles. And yeah, that was an experience. It was fun. And but yeah, anyways. So we were doing the same thing, right? Going out, casting jigs, bluefin are sinking out, trouble finding them, and people kept saying they're there, they're there, they're there. We go out, we don't see any boils at all. Alright, so then I started seeing posts where people were saying, you guys, get live bait, catch mackerel, either slow troll or live bait, and that's it. And so we went out with the dedication of the day to use live bait, drifted around live bait, trolling. So in the morning, we caught some live bait. Most of our bait was kind of medium to kind of large size mackerel. And we had no sardines, but yeah, we loaded up on bait and we headed out. So when we get out there, we start seeing the boils, okay? And first thing in the morning, we were fishing them how a lot of other people were fishing them. We're throwing jigs at them, and we were getting close. We were getting some casts kind of right into the boils, and we're on the edge of the boils. I think we had like one good cast, like right in the middle of the boil. Didn't get bit, but they were far away, right? They were right on the edge of our cast, and when we try to get a little bit closer, even going real slow, and just kind of creeping up on them, they'd sink out all the time. Sink out, sink out, sink out, just like you've heard a million times. Okay, so after we got tired of that, we were like, all right, let's do what we planned on. Let's use the live bait and let's dedicate to it. So that's what we did. Our first bait sat in the water for about maybe 15 minutes. Okay, we shut the motor off, just drifted. We knew the tuna were in the area. We shut the motor off and just started drifting along with the current, a little bit of breeze. And our first bait got bit by a giant and almost spooled. It bit my buddy's rod and almost spooled him instantly. And so we even turned the motor on, started chasing the fish, but unfortunately the hook popped out. So a little later in the day, we're doing the same thing. We found some tuna in some other areas, and then so we're drifting some bait again. And while we're drifting, I was using fresh cut mackerel, about 1-inch squares, and I was putting 1 or 2 chunks of mackerel in the water every like few minutes, something like that, just to get a little scent in the water and start creating a scent trail. And yeah, it worked. I got bit, and I caught an 80-pound tuna, my biggest fish of my life. So I was very stoked on that. So that fish took us about 4.5, 5 hours to get in. I wasn't really prepared for a fish that big. I didn't have a setup really big enough to really, handle a fish that big. So yeah, it took us a while to get it in. But yeah, fish weighed about 80 pounds, and yeah, the biggest fish of my life. Super stoked. Me and my buddy took turns cranking on it, and yeah, we got the fish in, and man, we were so excited when we boated the boat. My buddy Josh, he landed it, he gaffed it, and yeah, we took turns cranking on it, and yeah, got the fish in after 5 hours on an ugly stick. Following weekend, we went out again and did the same thing and got bit again. I hooked up again, and unfortunately the hook pulled, and the wind kind of came up kind of early that day, and so we got kind of pushed off the water. We were on the water as long as we could for the wind conditions. The wind conditions sucked, and but yeah, that works, guys. So when it comes down to it, how you're going to be more successful catching bluefin tuna from your private boat is live bait. Drift your live bait, shut your motors off, get your bait away from the boat, shut your motors off, chum a little bit of dead bait or cut bait, whatever you have, chum something to get some kind of scent trail. Get that scent trail going in the water. And also slow trolling was also working really good, I heard too. Slow trolling a live mackerel or cedar plugs, but obviously live bait was the way to go, especially when they're so boat shy. A lot of times when they're not boat shy, you could pull up on the boils or whatever, and cast your jig out there, and you're gonna hook up. And but after they had so much pressure on them, it was really hard to catch them that way. So those are your tips for the 2022 bluefin tuna fishing. Hopefully we get the same kind of fishing. They come up the coast, they're shallow, because I'll be fishing for them, and I'm going to be catching them too. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys catch some bluefin tuna for your private boats in the 2022 season. I heard rumors that some boats were already fishing for them, and they were close down in Mexican waters, and they were close to shore too. They weren't that far out. So hopefully we get the same conditions and we have lots of bait in our water like we did last time. The water conditions and currents and temperatures are predicted to be about the same as last year. So I'm hoping that we're going to have another epic inshore bluefin tuna fishing. And we'll be catching tuna 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles off the beach. So let's all hope for it. Let's hope for the best. And yeah, that's it, guys. So stay safe, stay tight, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.